Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Patience. In today's video we'll be learning how to make the half scale block. This can be used to make your tops, crop tops, gowns. With further alterations, it can be used to make your bustier, armhole princess darts, corsets, and so on. Before we get started, kindly click the subscribe button. If you have done that, let's get into it. To know the amount of pattern paper you need to draft your half scale block, you need to divide your biggest measurement, circumference measurement, by 2. In my own case, it is my bust. So my bust is 41 inches. So 41 inches divided by 2 is 20.5 inches, let's say 11 inches. So on every block, there should be ease. So you can add 3 to 5 inches. So my total pattern paper is 30 inches and I marked 2 inches on both sides. Now I am using 26 inches and what I need is 21 inches. So I added 5 inches for ease. It doesn't really matter, you can add like 2 or 3 inches. I'll label this as the center back and this as the center front. I've gone ahead to mark the shoulder line. As you can see, I divided the 26 inches into 2, that is 13 inches, and I marked the midpoint for the front and the back piece. Starting from the front piece, I'll go ahead and mark half of my shoulder width, which is 16 divided by 2, that is 8 inches. And from the 8 inches, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slant. And the standard measurement for the neck is 3 by 3 inches. So the width is 3 inches and the depth is 3 inches for the front piece. I'll connect the 1 inch to the neck width and slant the shoulder and curve the neck line. Also on the back piece, I'll mark half of my shoulder width, come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slant. The standard measurement for the back neck is 3 inches by 1 inch. Now from the 1 inch for the shoulder slant, I'll mark my chest line, which is 8 inches. In order to get a straight line, I'll mark from the shoulder, that is 9 inches. After doing that, I'll bring down the shoulder measurement to the chest line and connect it this way. As you can see, I'm using my pencil because it is a temporary line. I'll do the same thing on the front piece. I'll mark the midpoint of this line, which is 4 inches. For the back armhole, I'll go in by ½ inch. I'll connect the ½ inch to the tip of the shoulder this way. And I will mark 1/4 of my bust circumference on the chest line. I'll add 0.25 inches for ease. I am adding 0.25 ease because of the ½ inch I will take out for the back tightening later. So I'll use my armhole curve to curve the arm side. For the front piece, I'll go in by 3/4 inch. And I'll connect the 3/4 inch to the tip of the shoulder this way. Mark 1/4 of my bust circumference and curve the arm side. On the front piece, I'll mark my shoulder to bust point, which is 10.5 inches. On the back piece, I'll mark my shoulder to back half length. So my shoulder to half length is 16 inches. So my shoulder to half length is 16 inches. but because of the bust dart on the front piece, I'll be adding extra 2 inches to my shoulder to half length. That is 18 inches. So I'm marking 18 inches on the front piece because of the bust dart. So the front is longer than the back piece with 2 inches, as you can see. So by the time I take in my bust dart, it is going to align. Now I'll mark my bust span measurements. Bust span is the horizontal distance between the two apex of your bust. Mine is 8 inches, divided by 2 is 4 inches. Remember I said I am not going to be adding sewing allowances to this pattern. So if you are drafting on your pattern or if you are cutting on your pattern, make sure to add ½ inch for sewing allowance, that is 4.5 inches. Now I'll be marking 4 inches on the bust line and also the waistline. Connect it this way. For my waist dart, I'll be using 1.5 inches for my dart intake. For bust 33 to, let's say, 35, you can use 1 inch, that is 0.5 inch on both sides. But from bust 34 upwards, you can use 1.5 inches. I'll mark 3/4 inch on both sides and connect the dart legs. On the back piece, on the chest line, I'll also mark my bust span measurement and the waist. On the chest line, I'll come down by 1 inch and connect it this way. I'll also be using 3/4 inch on both sides for my dart, that is 1.5 inches. Connect the dart legs and I'll mark 1/4 of my waist circumference plus this 1.5 inches for dart, that is 10.5 inches. I'll also mark 1/4 of my bust circumference and connect the points. And on the back piece, I'll mark 1/4 of my waist circumference plus this 1.5 inches and connect the points. For the bust dart, on the bust line, I'll go down by 2 inches on the side seam, as you can see. And I'll mark the midpoint from these 2 inches to the bust line, that is obviously 1 inch. And from the 1 inch, I'll go out by ½ inch. This is to avoid shortage of fabric when taking in the dart. So I'll connect the ½ inch to the armhole this way. Using a curved ruler, I'll connect the ½ inch to the waist. And I'll connect the 2 inches for bust dart to the 4 inches for bust span. So when I take in the bust dart, as you can see, I'll have enough fabric and there will not be shortage of fabric on the side seam. To avoid back bulge, I'll go in by ½ inch on the waistline, that is on the back piece, and I'll connect it to the neckline this way. Avoiding zip bulge on the back piece is going to affect the bust circumference, as you can see. So that was why I added 0.25 inches on the bust line. So when you cut out the waist dart, you'll be able to close the bust dart. So this is just the basic half scale block. Of course, you can make other alterations like the shoulder darts, where you divide the shoulder into 2 and connect to the bust span. So it depends on the dress you are making. For now, this is just the basics. If this was helpful, kindly give this video a thumbs up and also click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to be updated when I upload a new video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.